Okay.
William Ng here, managing editor for Thomas Net News Machining Journal. We're here live at IMTS 2012 in Chicago, and I'm here with Larry Pellegrini of Muratec, and we're going to talk to Larry about some of the big issues here,
Okay.
including the manufacturing skills gap and how that's affected Muratec.
Well, in our situation, it's been a shortage of engineering skills. We do a lot of application work for our customers, and it requires a very high level of engineering skills, both mechanical, electrical, control systems work. And it's been very difficult filling those resources. We have right now probably open requisitions for 4 or 5 engineers that we can't, it's almost impossible for us to fill. But I shouldn't say impossible, but it's become very difficult for us to fill those engineering positions.
And how do you feel some of the solutions should come from in terms of academia and education?
Well, it's going to take time. I think manufacturing was somewhat of a low point, and the manufacturing really lost its appeal for a lot of the youth going into colleges.
Right.
How many students are going into engineering and want to go into the machine tool industry? Not many, but I think it's shows like this where students can see the attractiveness and the challenge and the skills needed. It can help out a lot.
And I see, some of the grassroots efforts around the industry are really trying to do that now.
Yeah, sure.
Do you think manufacturing really needs a sort of image makeover?
Sure, but I think we're seeing a lot of the image makeover. We're dealing with a lot of new customers now that they're building up a lot of new facilities. They're going with the latest in technologies. And I think at that point where we turn manufacturing again into a science, that it'll get back to where, well, it'll exceed where it used to be.
Mm-hmm. And the other big issue that we're hearing is reshoring, which is the process of bringing manufacturing back from the Far East back here to the United States.
No, we've seen a great amount of that. We deal mostly, our particular company deals a lot with the automotive parts business. And we see a lot of that work that was outsourced to China, that's coming back. We see work coming from India, that's coming back. A lot of that's coming back. And what we are also seeing, it's not really reshoring, but a lot of the work coming in from Japan. Japan wants to increase the amount of machining for the Japanese, especially for the Japanese auto builders. They're bringing more and more of the machining into the U.S. So they are also building new facilities, and they need the new equipment for those new facilities. And that's always the most progressive and the state of the art for those companies.
And from your customers' perspectives, what kind of opportunities and challenges does that present to them?
Well, it's happening for us. It's happening very fast, and so our sales and sales requirements, our production and our operations requirements have just increased very dramatically, very quickly. And so it comes back to the first question. We need more skilled engineers, and especially engineers with some experience, and that's probably our biggest challenge, is to meet the increased demand from our customer base.
And finally, maybe you can introduce some of your new machine debuts here at the show.
Oh, sure. Our newest machine is you can see off there in the corner there, it's an MW40, and it's a smaller machine. It's for parts in the range of 40 to 60 millimeters, and 40 millimeters in diameter, about 60 millimeters in length. And it's a very, very high speed and very accurate. One of the things that we're seeing more and more, that the tolerances are getting tighter and tighter. And on this type of machine, we could hold print tolerances down to 5 or 6 micron on a statistical basis. So it's a very stable machine. We put a post-process gauge that we designed for the customer's parts, and we could hold those type of tight tolerances. And it's very fast. We get into cycle times of less than 10.5 seconds for 2 parts. coming off of a turning machine.
Thank you very much, Larry.